In the past week, I've been called ugly, stupid, fat, and a few swear words, which I won't say due to younger followers. I usually don't let any of it bother me, but tonight, someone told me I should kill myself. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to talk about 3 things today. If you're pregnant or your girlfriend is, what your next step should be, how to tell your parents, and how to deal with all the hate that comes along with being a pregnant or parenting teen. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is if you find out you're pregnant as a teen, what you should do next. So, ladies, the first thing that you should always do is tell your partner or the parent's dad. You should let them know first. Even if you guys aren't on talking terms, it's still something that person needs to know almost under every circumstances. I'm sure there's some circumstances where you wouldn't want to tell them, but for the most part, I would definitely tell them first. And don't hold it off. I know some girls are afraid that their boyfriend or whoever is going to be mad or leave them or whatever, but I just feel like your baby is more important. Your baby should be your priority. So I would just go ahead and focus on your baby and not focus as much on him.
And sorry, my throat is like I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, but it's like hard for me to talk.
The second thing is that how to tell your parents can be kind of tricky. I actually told mine on Christmas Day. What we did is we went and we had pictures taken of us with these props, like this chalkboard that says, and then there were 3, and a onesie, and then took the pictures, put them in a frame, wrapped them up, and put them under the Christmas tree for Christmas morning. His parents were really excited, actually. They were really happy. They were calling everyone, letting them know. My parents, on the other hand, my mom actually just left the room crying. She didn't even look at me or talk to me or anything. She just was so upset. She just left the room. And, I mean, probably like 15 minutes later, I went up and tried to talk to her. And it wasn't that she was mad at me. It was more or less like she wanted to support me or whatever. But at the same time, she was also just kind of sad for me, I guess, in a way, because she was a teen mom and knows how much of a struggle it really is. And so she was just kind of sad that that's something I had to go through, just like she did. So she understood completely how difficult it was going to be, and it instantly just hit her as something that she was just so sad about, that I had to go through the same thing. And then when I told my dad, actually, he was so mad. He like just was swearing at us and didn't say much, and my grandma actually went up to give him a hug, and she called him something like, "Oh yeah, congratulations, Grandpa," and he was like,
this and that.
And still to this day, he's still mad at me, and he actually was trying to convince me to get an abortion, and I told him that I didn't want to do that I couldn't do that, and so we just aren't on speaking terms. So ultimately, I did lose a parent out of this, out of telling them, but at the same time, my baby is my priority, so if he can't see that, then I didn't really have a loss anyways. I would just say the best way to do it is just to be straightforward with them. I would not make it a joke. I wouldn't, I would take it very seriously, because it is something that's really serious. So if you bring it up to them in a very adult way, you tell them like, hey, tonight when I get home, can we sit down and we all need to talk? Or something along the lines. Maybe if you're not comfortable, or your parent is going to react in a harsh way. If you have parents who you just can't communicate with at all or whatever, maybe writing a letter would be the best thing. Just write a letter about, what happened, like how you found out, how you're feeling, even maybe if you want to express that to them. You know, whatever you feel is best, maybe write that in the letter and then just leave it on their pillowcase or something. I would just try to figure out how to do it some way that wasn't over text messages, but I would definitely say to sit down or some way besides texting to tell them. And if you really don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel almost safe telling them, then you need to find an adult who you can help, because if you wait months and months until you are very pregnant and you don't go to the doctor, so it can be very unsafe for the baby, especially if it has health risks that you could have helped earlier in the pregnancy. So just some way, tell somebody who you trust who is older than you, who can help you. Maybe it's your partner's parents or your grandparents or even somebody at your high school or something. But I would recommend you telling somebody and don't keep that a secret. The third thing I wanted to talk about is how to deal with all of the hate that you receive being a teen parent or a pregnant teen. Because there's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. No, there's so much hate. Without the positive, I would just be a wreck just looking at all the negative, because it's a lot to take in. Nobody handles somebody telling them how much of a failure they're going to be all the time. Like, nobody takes that lightly. Was about how my life is going to just be complete poop, basically. I tried to tell him how, you know, it is going to be harder, of course. You know, being a mom at any time in your life is just harder. But, like, being a teen mom, for sure, yeah, it's going to be hard on me. Like, I haven't finished college yet. I haven't found a super stable job where I'm making bank and all this stuff. Like, no, of course it's going to be harder. And they are trying to just, like, let you know how it is going to be truly. They're trying to, but at the same time, it is really hard to hear, because you know in your head that it's going to be hard already. You already are like, oh crap, it's going to be really hard, God. But it doesn't help when other people are telling you it constantly. If you are watching and you have said these things to people who are pregnant, I just want you to know that if you do feel that way, that's fine, that's your own opinion. I would just like for you to say it in a different way, and if the person you are telling doesn't, like, you know, want to hear it, then you should just stop, just back off, okay? That's all I have to say, because I know the guy who was telling me was making me very angry at the time, because it was like an hour and a half of him just telling me how my life is going to be crappy for the rest of my life, and there was nothing I could ever do about it to make it better and all this stuff, and it just kind of got old. I kind of just told him to shut up, basically. But I do know that there are a lot of girls out there that you can always contact that are going through the same thing, so you always have somebody to talk to that relates to you in the moment. Of course, you always have your friends or parents or whoever you trust, but there's also support groups. There's also so if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe. But I just wanted to take the time right now to thank everyone who's been supporting me. I can't believe how many people I've actually been able to help along my journey. And just know that if you are a teen parent or a pregnant teen, that you can do it and that I believe in you. So here's a bunch of my support.